Short week for the Tar Heels. Quick turnaround, especially when you're going on the road for a Thursday night game like the Tar Heels are later this week at Miami. So a busy week. Going to spend a couple of moments here with the head coach of the Tar Heels, Larry Fedora. My name's Jones Angell. Thanks for being with us. And, Coach, certainly a positive week for Carolina coming off that win against Pitt in Kenan Stadium, 38-35 this past Saturday. I want to talk a couple things about that game and then look forward. One, seems like you really have found something in your backfield with Jordan Brown, Michael Carter, Antonio Williams. That trio really gives you a punch in the backfield. I'd just be interested in your thoughts. And now that you have all three of those guys healthy and available, what they can do for you.
Well, first of all, we've got a great running back room, and Robert Gillespie's doing a great job with those guys, but he's got great kids in there. They all love each other. They care about each other. They're all pulling for each other, but they're competing like crazy. So being able to use those three guys and them be fresh is something that's going to really benefit us going throughout the season. But, Antonio had a big game the other day. I mean, he's running hard, he's physical, and he's making plays. And so it was good to get Michael Carter back out there. He needed to get some reps, and Jordan's just doing what he always does.
Felt like you were looking for some contributions from somebody other than Anthony Ratliff-Williams in your receiving game, and some guys really answered the bell. Coach Daz Newsome, De'Ami Brown had a touchdown catch as well. Starting to see some of those young receivers step up. Yeah,
and we know, so people are going to start leaning towards Anthony a little bit, and so we wanted to try to take advantage of some of the other things that they were doing. And Daz stepped up and made plays for us like we know he can. And it was good to get De'Ami, in the end zone. I mean, that's good for a freshman. He's got one under his belt now, and he'll be a better player.
Nathan Elliott, Coach, I think would say he didn't have his best two games the first 2 weeks. Responded with his best effort against Pitt. 2 touchdowns, no picks, higher completion percentage. What was different in your mind in his performance?
I just think he relaxed. He quit trying. He quit trying so hard and quit worrying about making mistakes and just go play football. I mean, it's just the game of football he's been playing since he's been 6, 7, 8 years old. And so I think he relaxed. He knows the game plan inside out and backwards. There's nobody that's going to study it any harder. And so I think he just relaxed and quit worried about making mistakes, and he played well.
Interesting week coming up, Coach, or game coming up. Also interesting personnel-wise for you. You've now got everybody back from suspension except for Tamon Fox. He and Malik Carney are doing the staggering suspension. Tamon will miss this game against Miami, but you do get a big influx of players. How do you think that changes your approach, if at all?
Well, what it does is it gives us some much-needed depth at positions that were very, very thin, and so that's going to help us tremendously. I mean, just having guys. I mean, this game this past week was a very draining game. I mean, it was if you weren't there, it was hot and humid, and it was a 60-minute battle. I mean, it was exchanging punches all the way through, and I thought our guys excelled. I thought they were in great shape. I thought they were ready. They played well in the second half, but having these now guys that will have more depth will help us a bunch.
I think maybe at least the most recognizable name, Coach, that returns is Chaz Surratt. Of course, started a handful of games last year for you at the quarterback position. Any feel for how Chaz kind of fits back in now?
Yeah, I mean, I have a complete feel of how he fits back in. Not that I'm going to tell you about it, but yeah, he's up and running and ready to go.
Miami, the opponent, Coach, on a short week. We'll talk about the Canes in a second. Short week-wise, feels like recovery, rest, just getting the bodies ready was the most important thing.
Yeah, that is the most important thing. If we don't get to Thursday night fresh, then it doesn't matter what the game plan is. So, the coaches, we turned around right after the Pitt game, came immediately, stayed in the office and worked all night that night. And then we gave the guys off on Sunday so they could recover as much as possible. And then we worked all day Sunday and that night. And then, we practiced Monday and Tuesday, very light practices. One day in shoulder pads and another in spiders, and then helmet walk through, and it's time to roll.
How about the Hurricanes, Coach, coming in, lost the first game against LSU. They've looked good since, won 3 in a row, and always a tough trip, always a physical team, an athletic team that you'll be seeing.
Very physical team, on both sides of the ball, and that's what Mark does. I mean, he does a great job with his offense, and then, Manny is running the defense, and, they're number 1 in the country in tackles for loss. I mean, they're creating turnovers. They're doing great things over there. He's gonna try to get you in long yardage situations as often as possible and make you have to throw the football, and then they're going to come after you and heat it up. Mark's going to be very efficient with the football on offense. He's not going to turn it over. He's going to be able to throw it. He's got great athletes on the perimeter, and they're going to be able to run the football.
What has all of a sudden become a very important game in the Coastal Division of the Atlantic Coast Conference comes up Thursday night. It's an 8 o'clock scheduled kick down in Miami Gardens, Florida. Radio-wise, we'll be on the air at 7 p.m. for the next edition of the Heels and the Canes. Thanks so much for being here.